Good afternoon everybody, it's Graham once again from Unearthed, and this episode of Detecting Talk hopefully will be of interest to many of you viewers, or the viewers on here. So let's get right into the subject. Just recently we've seen a spate of metal detectors being stolen from the back of people's vans and cars. Now, if some of you guys that have been subscribed to this YouTube channel for some time will remember that I did a video about 18 months ago, or a film 18 months ago on this very subject, regarding people leaving their metal detectors in cars overnight and running the risk of it being stolen, and it's happened. So I've had a couple of calls recently of gentlemen that are very dismayed about the fact that they've had their detectors and their gear also stolen. My guess is that people are going out detecting. At the end of the day, they're tired, driving home. The last thing they think about is removing all their gear from the back of the cars or vans, and the first thing they want to do is get in and have something to eat, have a bath, etc, etc. The detecting gear goes out the window, they leave everything inside the van. The thief comes along, looks in the back of the pickup or the back of the van or whatever it is, car, smashes the window, checks the doors or whatever he does, the stuff's gone. So it's, you know, just spend that extra 5 minutes. You guys have spent your hard-earned wages and money on buying the detectors in the first place, only to see some low-life criminal coming along and stealing it from your back of your motor. It's absolutely not on this day and age that people should be doing it. I mean, I can't get critical enough about it happening. The two guys that rang up wanted serial numbers, put serial numbers out there if we ever come across them again. Chances are they'll be stuck on eBay or some other selling platform. Friends and family will get probably notified that these machines are for sale. You'll probably never see them again. They've probably got customers or people already lined up to buy them. And it's a shame when you find that the machines are quite expensive detectors that are getting stolen. But not only that, they're running the risk of it being broken into the car, is you're leaving them in backs of vans. Cold, frosty nights. We're quite lucky at the moment because we've had such a mild winter, but you know, some winters are cold, freezing cold. Frost causes condensation in the vans. The sort of the condensation drips from the inside of the roof because everything's metal and cold. It can go all over the machines. It can damage the machines even. It's not worth running the risk of leaving your metal detector in the back of people's cars, folks. Just, I know it's difficult because you're tired and everything else, but it really, you know, you're waking up next morning to your back window being smashed or the door being tried and the door half open or ajar or whatever it is. You open up and then all your gear's gone. Your probe, your digging tools, your detector, your bag. These thieves won't leave anything, they'll just take it because they know there's a market out there for it to be sold on for their low life gains, I guess. So just, I mean, I don't know if this goes out to many people and they say, oh yeah, well you're right, I'd leave mine in the back of my car. I know people do it all the time. A lot of you guys are a little bit like me. You know, you just spend that extra 5 minutes at the end of the day or night when you come home after a day's detecting, travelling. Just put it in. Even if you put it inside your vestibule or whatever you've got, at least it's safe in the house rather than being stuck in the back of the car. So any advice I can give you, folks, don't do it. You're running the risk of it getting stolen, but you're also running the risk of getting damaged on a cold, frosty, horrible night where, you know, again, the condensation can cause havoc with these machines, especially the ones that are not weatherproof, waterproof. Get into the electrics, get stuck into the machine, and all hell can break loose. We've had that for quite a few times. Also, coming away from the sort of negative theme of metal detectors being stolen, there has been some quite humorous stuff going on social media regarding this YouTube channel, and it seems like we've got a guy in the northwest that actually takes off my accent and is putting it out there on social media. He knows who he is. A lot of people think if they shut their eyes it's him. Sorry, it's me, not him, I should say. Getting my words mixed up a little bit there, folks. So he's causing a bit of a stir, is the man. He knows who he is. He'll be watching this with a wry smile on his face. All I can say is, you've got to hone that accent a little bit better. People think I'm Yorkshire, Lancashire, I'm Cumbrian. Born and bred Cumbrian. So get the accent right. You're nearly there. You're nearly there. Graham Morrison's group from the northwest Lancs area. He's a member of that, the gentleman, and he's taking the mickey out of my accent and doing short videos and films of me talking out in the field and etc. etc. I find it hilarious. I really do. I find it great. I love the banter. I love the banter. So keep doing what you do. It's great to know. Now, also, we have a lot of Scottish friends that come on our digs and personal friends of ours at Unearthed, and it was I have to say it was my 50th birthday, folks, yesterday. And I'm not plugging this for me for you lot to say happy birthday by any stretch of the imagination, but it was my 50th birthday yesterday, and I got some wonderful gifts off some of our friends in Scotland. One of them is this, and there it is. Now then, look at that. I had to wear it because Ian McLeod and Enid from over the border sent me this through the post. The juice is loose around the house. I got to do me a little Scottish piece for you guys, but that tells you I'm a supporter of the Scots. I am Scottish myself, half Scottish or a quarter Scottish. My grandmother was Scottish, Glaswegian, no less. So I have got Scottish blood running through my veins. And this hat, this wonderful hat, it's quite comfortable actually. It's surprising because I've got quite a big head, believe it or not. And some of you will be saying, oh, in more than one way, more than, well, hang on a minute, it's getting a bit tight. So I have got a big head, and but it fits really well. And I love the ginger side bits as well. So on the next Unearthed dig, I'm wearing this, folks. You'll see the Scottish hat with the ginger mullet sticking out the sides. This is going to be the new hat. So I do appreciate it, Enid and Ian. It's a very, very nice gesture, along with some other gifts that I got. Heartwarming to see some of you people. I'm going to take it off. It's actually irritating my ear. I'll have to get that fitted right. I'll have to make sure I put it on right next time. So I've got stuff like that coming, and I think that's brilliant. I love that Scottish hat. I'm going to wear it on the next dig. Patriot, English, Scottish, the Welsh, the Irish, I love them all. But I'm going to be wearing my old Scottish cap that Ian and Enid bought me. I think it's a fantastic gift. And I have to say, folks, that I got a detecting cake for my birthday off Melanie, which is a Liverpool football club with my name on it. I'm 50. Shirt. The cake was made into a shirt, and a little detectorist sat on the arm of the shirt, and I thought it was fantastic. So some of you guys that follow us on social media, Facebook, would have seen the picture of a little detecting man. And I don't know how these guys, or these ladies I should say, make these cakes so good. I mean, it's just amazing how they do it. I daren't put my knife into it, it's that good. Seriously, it should be preserved. I'm going to have to see if I can preserve it for forever, because I just daren't cut into it. It's that good, it's a work of art. Anyway, moving on from my birthday stuff. Back to a serious note, folks. There's a lot of people contacting me about the Minelab Vanquish. Now, if some of you guys following this channel noticed, last week we did some videos, an unboxing video of the 540 Pro Pack. We also did a in-field test on the test bed of the 340, which I have to say I was mightily impressed with that little machine. You know, for simplicity and performance, pretty difficult to beat. But the downside is we're struggling to get them in numbers. So the last week's batch came. Most of the people, if not all the people, bought them already as pre-orders. We're just awaiting confirmation for the next order. We don't know if that's going to be this week or next week. Everything seems to have gone a little bit quiet. So there's an element of frustration out there, not only from us at Unearthed, me and Melanie, but also from you guys that are chomping at the bit to get your hands on these machines. My advice is just wait patiently if you can, because they are on the way. They can't be that far away, because they're already being out there in production. We've already had a small amount into the UK. The rest of the dealers in the UK got a small number of them also. It's just a waiting game now, folks. I know some of you guys are really excited about getting your hands on the Vanquish, and I can understand why, because it is a fantastic detector. There's no two ways about it. Very good on the wet sand, very stable on the wet sand on the beaches, which is what you want because of the multi-IQ platform, and it's as equally good on the pasture fields. We've tested it on the test bed, as you saw, the 340. It was very, very stable on the targets. It hit every target, even give a bit of a squeak on the old 22-inch horde, I have to say. But It's just a matter of waiting now, folks. Just wait patiently. I know it's hard, but just remember, this isn't our fault at Unearthed. We're not the ones that make these machines or manufacture them. We're just at the bottom end of the line being fed them to sell to the public. So there's an element of frustration. I'm feeling it, you're feeling it. My advice is just sit back and relax. When they come, it'll all be worth the wait, because they are going to be a terrific detector. Getting some quite good information off them. Guys that are using them on the pasture seem to be doing well with them. We've not had any major reports on the arable stuff. There's one or two guys that have been using it on arable fields, and they're sort of probably trying to get to grips with how to set it for the best conditions that they're detecting on. So that might be interesting to see what the future holds regarding different terrains with the Vanquish. But I have to say, I was mightily impressed with it on pasture. We had a little whiz down the beach with it on the wet sand just to see if it was, how stable it was, and it was very, very stable on the shoreline where the tide was just leaving the rocks and the sand. Very, very stable. The only downside of it, we didn't get a chance to do a video because it was blowing a hooligan. It was about 30-40 mile an hour winds. It would have been impossible to do it. But we may do another beach test on the Vanquish machines this year, later this year, probably into the summer or late spring. But yeah, by all accounts, that's a terrific little detector. More information coming soon, hopefully, on this channel with regards to when they're going to be physically in stock again. We're waiting patiently. I want one out of stock to use myself. I just want to have a little go with it. I just want to have a little, little day session with it out somewhere where I know there's different finds available for us to hit with the detectors, and let's see if we can put it through its paces. So there you go. Yes, the answer to a lot of questions is as well, I'm getting a lot of people asking me, are you an Equinox user now? I am for this year. I'm going to use the machine exclusively this year because I want to put it alongside my last year's finds rates, and my finds rate each year is pretty much the same. Hammered coins, denarius, silicas, Roman brooches, Roman bronzes. It's pretty much the same. You can almost put them from 2015, or well, when did I start my diary? 2013. Proper diary started then. I should have been doing it for years really, but anyway, that's just the way it is. But from 2013, I've documented every find that I've made, and the hammered coin total at the end of the year for the past, what's that, 7 years, 8 years, have been pretty much the same. I get between 25 and 35, maybe 40 hammered a year every year. The denarius count is probably around about 8 to 10 a year, and that's pretty much stable right through. It's very strange. The only spikes that I've seen is the silicas. They've been sort of spiking a little bit, whereas the Saxon coins, the skeets in particular, they've gone down. Saxon pennies have gone up. Roman bronzes have gone down because we've hit the Roman sites where all the bronzes are. We were getting 50 or 60 a day on some sites. They've gone down significantly. We were getting 500 to 600 a day way back in 2012, 2013. Probably 500 a year, sorry, or over. Now we're not, we're probably getting in the low hundreds, if that. So it'll be interesting this year to see how the diary forms with the Equinox. See if I can improve on anything. See if the Equinox gives me the opportunity to hit any of them deeper hammered that I may have been missing. But I'm not, and I'll stress this, I am not getting rid of the G2 Plus. I'll always keep the G2 Plus because it's been so damn good for me out in the field. It's never let me down. It's found me some terrific things. Some of my best finds, actually, coins and artifacts, have been found with the G2 Plus in the last 5 years. Now you take that into account with 39, 40 years of detecting, pretty damn good. But you do sometimes get in your back of your mind, am I missing things? Because it's not the deepest of detectors, by all accounts. And that's not being critical, but it's just the way the machine's made. It's got its plus points and its strengths, and which I play to. But I also sometimes think it could be a little bit more, have a little bit more power on the depth wise. It's not as deep as it should, as I want it to be, if that makes sense. So let's see how we get on with the Equinox 2020. My first session with it will be this weekend. We're out this Saturday, weather permitting. Well, it doesn't really matter, does it, weather permitting, because the machine's fully waterproof. I don't have to worry about it getting soaked anymore. It's just my skin that'll suffer, but I can wrap up for that. I'm sure I can. So this weekend we're out detecting. Doesn't matter about weather permitting, we're going to go. So it'll be interesting to see on some of these freshly ploughed fields that are going to be available, or some of the late stubble fields, depending what we get on. how the Equinox goes. I will have to up my recovery speed somewhat from the deep pasture one that we were using when the hod came up, so I'll have to tweak it a little bit from my last session, but I'm pretty well excited about its you know, the future of using that machine. I think my finds rate will possibly go up. Anyway, let's see, hopefully. Right folks, so keep an eye out for the next video. You'll see me at the weekend detecting out in the fields. Enough of this chit chat, I'm off to get my dinner, or my tea I should say, and I'll catch up with you guys very soon. Bye for now.